S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl. Hello and welcome to the Critically Curious. I'm Monk, and today, yes, we are going to be doing a first impressions video, and of course I'm going to be showing you some straight gameplay as well of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. Now, we have been waiting for this game for a while. This was originally slated to come out quite a long time ago. It got quite a hefty delay, unfortunately. This is one of those Xbox / exclusives. It is on the Xbox Game Pass day one, and you can also grab this on PC as well. This is a AAA rated game, or at least it is a AAA rated price tag. So I managed to jump into this game yesterday. It did take me a long time to download it. I did not pre-install it. That is my bad. And at 150 gig, I'm not sure what I was expecting. It is a monster of an install. So if you guys are running the Xbox Series S, for instance, you may have to delete some things because, my God, this requires a huge download. And this game has been developed by GCS World Game. They are the developers of the first installment of this franchise as well. Full disclosure, I did not play that first game, so I've got absolutely no idea what to expect from this game. I do know that it's supposed to be an open world, post-apocalyptic survival kind of game, so it's definitely a game that I absolutely am intrigued by. This, of course, is a Ukrainian-based games developer, and that explains why the hefty delay on this game. Obviously, they've had a few issues. I've played a fair few first-person shooter games, and this is a first-person shooter horror. And honestly, for me, as someone who's played a lot of shooter games, the controls feel a little bit janky. I'm hoping that as I play through the game a little bit more, I kind of feel, you know, what this game has to offer, and so it's going to be a little bit more natural. But at the moment, definitely feel a little bit janky when it comes to the controls. One thing I did quite like, though, is I died pretty early into this game. I think maybe this was my second combat encounter, and I got my first death. Now, what I did notice was that it seems to keep track of how many times you die. Now, again, I didn't play the first one, so I'm interested to see how that develops, how that possibly changes the game. I know it's a game that's supposed to have multiple endings as well, so again, that's going to be really interesting to see what those multiple endings are, what you have to do to acquire those multiple endings. But I do love, you know, apocalyptic survival style games. The looting system's really interesting as well. You can go around the world and you can find quite a lot of loot just lying around, that being, you know, sandwiches or drinks or ammunition, weapons, you know, old bodies that have been there for a little while. You can loot them and grab the bits inside them too, which again, I think is kind of interesting. The layout system of how you kind of like organize it in your backpack is very old school, though. The graphics in the game too do seem very dated already, considering this is a brand new game out. This was a very hyped game a while ago. It's a very huge price tag attached to this game, so I'm a little bit disappointed by just how the game looks and handles at the moment. I'm hoping with a few more hours into it, though, that it will kind of live up to expectations, and I can find a little bit of gold to this game, because it's one I've been looking forward to. It's one I was definitely, you know, had marked on my calendar. But definitely disappointed by the graphics. I think in the cutscenes, you've got like a deadpan face as well. You know, eyeballs might move, but that's pretty much it, which is a real shame. This is a fully voice acted game, though. Voice acting so far is possible. You know, everything they're saying is pretty clear. It's nothing to write home about, however, so far. Again, hoping that changes in the future. Seeing a few more cutscenes down the line to see how they go. Performance-wise, I had no issues with the game. I did play for a few hours last night, you know, on release day, and the game worked as intended, I'm assuming. I had no dashboarding or anything like that. I did have a little bit of like visual jankiness though, where the screen was trying to like catch up to what I was doing. But it was barely noticeable, but I did notice it a couple of times. So again, just hoping that it's, you know, teething problems. I'm sure a patch will come out rather quickly. When the big new games come out, especially one with 150 gigabytes, I'm assuming that perhaps it's just poorly optimized. But we're going to see how the game develops over time. So far, fair warning though, this does appear to be a tough game. You are fighting radiation, you're fighting beasties, you're fighting people that are trying to shoot at you. Sometimes in certain encounters I've come across it where I'm not exactly even sure who's shooting at me and how they've seen me, but there they are firing at me and I'm trying to get in cover, trying to return fire. It is quite brutal. You know, you get shot, you get attacked, that is half your health, if not all your health, gone in that single encounter. So you really do have to be on it when it comes to first aid and reapplying like those first aid kits. The game is definitely shoving lots of first aid kits in front of you though, so you know, you definitely have them in abundance, at least at the moment. The radiation is interesting, and you do kind of like have a Geiger counter. So as you go through, you do hear those clicks. You do know when you're approaching radiation. Of course, that's going to be sapping at your health as well. Having to manage that as you go through, I feel like it's going to be interesting. So a few of the objectives that I've had real early into the game have, you know, kind of led me directly into that radiation. The beasties as well. There are some funky looking things that I've had to fight so far, and some of them have been like invisible, or they've been shifting into like this phase. That's been problematic, trying to fight, you know, something that you can't necessarily see. I'm sure there's a trick to it. I'm sure I'm just too new into this game at the moment to kind of notice that. But yeah, this is a tough game. It's unforgiving. It's going to be interesting to see how it unravels. I will be doing a full review, of course, so that way you guys can know whether it's worth the downloads, worth the uninstall to get this game on your console, or of course perhaps you don't have Game Pass and you're looking to buy it, in which case it is a huge hefty fee. I believe I've seen on Steam it's over £100. I think the biggest package you can buy in this game is over £100 as well, which is, you know, that is not a cheap game at all. That is AAA rated prices. But there we have it, guys. That is my first impressions of the game, a rundown of what I thought. Ultimately, I'm intrigued to see what it has next. I'm a little bit disappointed overall, but, you know, this is first impressions. Maybe it will change my mind. But until next time, I've been a Mark, who's been a Critically Curious. I will see you in the next video real soon. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, happy gaming.
One lucky activation, and we have a gold mine.
Sector 9, visual detection of the vault. I say again, Sector 9, visual detection of the vault.